So now that this is selected, I'm just going to collapse the stroke panel to see a little bit more of symbols and press the New button in the corner of the Symbols panel to create a new symbol. I can give this whatever name I like, and the options here aren't usually something you need to play with. Registration here is set to the center. I normally want it to be the center because I'll be rotating and scaling around the center of this object, but the corners might be appropriate for some kinds of things. And we'll have a look at this Enable Guides for 9-Slice Scaling option in just a moment. You don't need to worry about the type. That is only important if you're going to be taking this artwork into Flash. Let's hit OK. This is now a symbol, and I could drag in new copies from the symbol panel and indeed use the symbol sprayer to put many more copies on. I'll just undo that. If I was to scale, and it can be freeform or proportional with Shift held down, and rotate this object, oops, rotation, there we go, then it will just rotate and scale and the entire symbol gets bigger. And the edge of this gets thicker. If I don't want that to happen, I do have options. And indeed, sometimes you do need to protect it. Because if I was to scale this object crazily, then, this is now a lot wider than this. You can certainly turn squares into not quite squares anymore. So I'm going to undo all of that. I'm going to create a rounded rectangle. So here's a square rounded rectangle, and I'll up the weight on this stroke just a little bit. If I've got a rounded rectangle that looks something like that, you'll remember from a previous lesson that if I stretch that out, say just in one dimension, that the corners no longer stay square. So if I undo, I'm going to turn this into a symbol. If I say New, I'm going to enable the guides for 9-slice scaling. If I just call it rounded, hit OK, then this is going to be a little bit different. If I bring on a copy of this symbol and scale this, you'll see that it stays the same width and the corners stay the same size. Even if I was to drag this out so it's bigger horizontally than it is vertically, or vice versa. So how is this magic happening? If I double click to edit the symbol, you'll see I've got these guides. Only the area within the central square is going to grow proportionally. Otherwise, this part will grow vertically and this part will grow horizontally, and the corners will not scale at all. Obviously, there's some kinds of symbols you want to enable this for and others that you won't. In many ways, this is similar to the brush scaling options, which only let you scale one end of the brush or the middle of the brush rather than the entire brush.